Anne Ford was an authoress, singer, and musician who lived in the later half of the 18th century and early 19th century, located in London, England. She was known to be a spirited and unconventional woman, and played several instruments including the English guitar, musical classes, which were drinking classes filled with different levels of water to create different pitches, and the viola da gamba comparable to the modern-day cello. Hi, my name is Natalie Roki, and this is Who Was She? And today we talk about the captivating life of Anne Ford. Let's get started. Early life. Anne Ford was born to Miss Champion in a house near the Temple, London, on the 22nd of February in 1737. She was the only child of Thomas Ford, who was the clerk of the Arrogants, also known as the clerk of the Central Criminal Court. This is also known as the Crown Court. Education. For a woman at that time, she had a very extensive education, costing her father around 400 euros a year, which equates to about $25,659.90 a year today. Along with an extensive education came private lessons from the very talented Susanna Kibble, who was also a singer and actor. In the spotlight, Anne was described by Charles Burney as the most pleasing singer I have ever heard. I would rather hear her than any Italian I have yet heard. At first, Ford performed only within private homes, as this would be the only type of performance she could give for a woman of her class. She would give many concerts within her own father's house, where many leading professionals and amateur musicians would attend. She played and sang at gatherings of fashionable society in London, as well as Bath. After great success in her hometown, Anne embarked on an 18-month journey, reportedly with only a viola da gamba, 2 guitars, a violin, and a parakeet, of course. She was so well-liked that in 1760, she was even painted by Thomas Gainsborough, fellow enthusiast for the viola da gamba and resident of Bath, on the 15th of October, 1761. She wrote books. Ford published instructions for playing on the musical glasses held with water, along with a book published about her travels in 1777 with illustrations that are almost certainly by Anne. She herself turned to writing, publishing her sketches of the lives and writings of the ladies of France in 3 volumes between 1778 and 1781. She played viola da gamba. Although she could play many instruments as mentioned above, as well as sing, the viola da gamba was by far her favorite. With regard to Miss Ford's viola da gamba, it may be surmised that she used a favorite instrument made in 1612 of exquisite workmanship and mellifluous tone, unwanted attention. Having some social status from her father, she had gained the attention of William Villiers, 3rd Earl of Jersey, making him high up socially enough to supposedly offer Anne an annuity of £100, equal to $51,319.80 today, to be his mistress. She had declined, as he made her uncomfortable, and also important information, he was married. Scandal. She eventually left town to move in with her dear friend Lady Elizabeth Thickness, hoping this would help support her career by performing in public. Of course, this was unacceptable by the society at the time, as it was improper for a woman to do this at this point in time. Her father had her arrested and brought back to his house twice for singing in public, and only once she escaped the second time was she then allowed to perform on the 18th of March in 1760. For this particular performance, she had declared a series of 5 subscription concerts at the Haymarket Theatre. The series ended up raising £1,500, or about $49,700 in today's terms. Beat that, William Villiers! Her father was so angry about the situation that he tried to stop the first concert with runners around the entire theater. But Charles Bonnet, the 3rd Earl of Tankerville, broke it up to allow the concert to go on as planned. Married life. In November of 1760, Anne left London to get away from her father, with her good friend Elizabeth Thickness again, to Langard Fort in Suffolk. This is where she would meet her future husband, Philipp Thickness, who is not only Lieutenant Governor at Langard Fort, but the current husband of her dear friend Elizabeth. Sadly, Elizabeth died in April of 1762 of an unknown illness. 6 months after Lady Elizabeth died, Anne married Philip on September 27, 1762, at Felixstowe, Suffolk, and was loved greatly by the young family. Thickness made her his 3rd wife after only knowing her for a short period of time. They had 2 children together, John and Charlotte. However, not much is known about their lives, although reportedly she was a kind mother and a sympathetic wife. Revolution. A contemplated visit to Italy in 1792 was frustrated by the sudden death of Philip Thickness after they had left Boulogne. The widowed Anne remained in France and was arrested and confined in a convent during the French Revolution. After the execution of the leader of the French Revolution, Robespierre, July 1794, a decree was declared for the liberation of any prisoners who should be able to earn their livelihood. Anne produced proof of her accomplishments and was set free. In 1800, she published her novel, The School for Fashion, in which many well-known characters appeared under fictitious names, herself as Euterpe. End of life. From about 15 to 18 years before her death, Mrs. Thickness lived with her friend, Sarah Cooper, in Edgware Road in London. It was here where she wrote her will in 1818. She died at the age of 86 on the 20th of January in 1824. This was a very long life for this point in time indeed. Aristocratic advantage. Throughout her life, she was received well by the public and was popular due to her beauty and talent. Her success could be due to them being the niece of Dr. Ford, the Queen's physician, and of Gilbert Ford, Attorney General of Jamaica. Although she was part of an upper class the majority of her life, she still worked greatly to make it on her own as an artist, regardless of the restrictions put on her by society and her father. Historical and cultural impact. Her impact on history as a whole sadly hasn't made a huge impact, but my hope is that her story can become more well-known and taught as part of the normal canon right next to Mozart, Haydn, Clementi, and all the other mainstream composers and musicians talked about from this era. Her story is one of importance as it can be one of empowerment, perseverance, and working towards your passions, and in turn achieving your dreams. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to comment down below what fact you found most interesting today. Thanks for watching.